Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at a unique small cap biotech, and the name is Recursion Pharmaceuticals. Ticker symbol is RXRX, and the reason we're going to look at it today is because I wanted to show you kind of what I'm seeing in terms of accumulation schematic via the Wyckoff method. And I want to show you why. One, I'm going to put up the accumulation schematic number one, which this matches pretty darn close. So this thing had went up to a high of about 44, and it's now down to what, $4.83. But some interesting things are happening here, and that's obviously on sale at about 90%. So for that reason alone, it kind of gets my interest. But there's a couple other things I want to show you in the chart. So here's the schematic of the accumulation phase via Richard Wyckoff, obviously. Go back, if you're not familiar with this, go back and study it. But it's simply put, it's just an accumulation range. So this initially is, first you have your preliminary support, which is kind of right here, and then you have your selling climax that goes down to the bottom of the range. Then you have your automatic reaction. Then you have your secondary test of that bottom end of the range. Then you have obviously some chop. And this can do a couple things. Obviously in this case, it threw over twice. But what's interesting is we had this massive sell, and that was the last one, right? So if you look at the volume profile as the time goes on, we have what we're looking at here, where we're currently at, in my opinion, is we're in this what's called the spring range, right? And that's this test after the secondary test in phase B, where it dips below the range, which it's doing, did it here, recaptured the range, but it's doing it a second time. So I kind of like this, and assuming we can hold, what's going to happen is we might rally to this median line, right, and do something like this. Then you're going to have this, what's called the last point of support, and then you're going to have your show of strength that's going to do something like this. And if we can get something like this, and again, it could be lower, it could be higher than this. I'm just using this pathing as an explanation and an example, but then it takes off, right? Boom, and it goes into your phase E, right? So this is super interesting. Obviously, we're in the final stages of it. We're kind of in that, we're in phase C. You still have phase D, and then you have your breakout in phase E. But I wanted to show this one because I thought it was a good training example of Wyckoff and his methodology. So this is obviously the accumulation down at the low end of a range. There's also the distribution, which is very similar to this that happens at the high end of the range. But let's put this on our radar. Things I like about this is look at these big green buy volumes. So you had this big green candle that took us up over the median line of the parallel. Then you had the sell-off, you had the spring, and then look, you had another one right after that. Got us back into the parallel, and then we're coming down for a second spring. So I really like this, especially with this these green buy volume candles. So again, we're gonna have to watch it. Could do something like this. We're gonna want to pay attention. Once we see, I mean, obviously this is super high, so you're not gonna want to obviously wait to 14 when it's at 4. So what I'm doing based on this is I'm starting to get into the position. So I got in at about 487 today, as a matter of fact. And I will watch this very closely. As it starts doing what I think it's going to do, I will naturally add along the way. And I'll probably look for something like this, and then once it comes back into this demand zone here, I'll add additional shares in the $6-7 range. And then once it pushes up to here, I might even take some off the table, because you never know, it could do something like this, overthrow, come back down, might not be ready. But the point is, and this goes with all trades, right, is you have to watch your trade. It definitely can go as planned, but doesn't always go as planned. So that means you're going to want to adjust and move and manage your position based on what it's doing, right? So if it comes up in here fast, really aggressively, I'll probably sell, look to get a better entry somewhere down in here, and then boom, off to the races. But I'll always preserve my kind of core position. So again, I'm just kind of explaining how I kind of would go about this, how I am going to go about this particular trade. And again, this is for educational purposes only, just sharing this to kind of just give education and show everyone what I'm doing in my own personal portfolio and how I look at charts and how I analyze them and why I do what I do. No financial advice is given on this channel. It's simply for educational purposes only, and hopefully you guys found value in being introduced to Wyckoff if you're not already familiar with his strategies and his methodology. But you'll see this play out in time over time on various charts, both on the accumulation side as well as the distribution side. So hit that like button if you like the content today. Definitely comment below if you found value and education in this training. I'll continue to deliver these. And yeah, let's all make a lot of money together. Thanks, guys. Take care.